Greetings, this is going to just be channeled messages mostly related to love, but also related to just life in general. So the first channeled message, a lot of these are songs, by the way, channeled through music often. So the first one is Sometimes by Britney Spears. So chosen ones, someone here could be scared of you, someone here is intimidated, someone is watching, so the song is Sometimes. Sometimes I run, sometimes I hide, sometimes I'm scared of you, but all I really want is to hold you tight, treat you right, but baby, all I need is time. And you know what? All I need is time. It's like someone could be saying, all I need is time, just be patient for me, just wait for me. But that's so unfair, because all we have is life, all we have is time. You know, time is always ticking. And so it's like someone here could just be wanting you to wait for them to grow up, wait for them to get their together. And it's like, I've been waiting for you to get your together, and how do you not have it together already? So there's something here where it's like, you really can't wait anymore, but someone here really wants you to wait. At the same time, we have Better in Time by Leona Lewis. So it's been the longest winter without you. So someone is really missing you. They feel like it's been the longest winter without you this winter. Perhaps it's the first time that they didn't see you. Perhaps it's the first time they didn't really talk to you. This can be like the first winter where it's been totally silent between you and someone that is a very strong soulmate energy. Now, in that song, she says, it's been the longest winter without you. I didn't know where to turn to, but somehow I couldn't forget you after all we've been through. But I couldn't live without you. It's going to hurt when it heals too. It'll all get better in time. Even though I really love you, I'm going to smile because I deserve to. Was it all that easy to just put your feelings, to just put aside your feelings? So there's, someone could feel like, is it really just that easy for you to put aside your feelings? Like you never talk to me, you never reach out to me. So it's like one person here is like, it's been the longest winter without you, I'm missing you, I'm thinking of you, you're constantly on my heart, you're constantly on my mind, but I'm going to smile because I deserve to be happy, I deserve to move forward. Life is precious, we don't have everyday promise, so I'm going to give myself the gift of smiling, and I'm going to push forward, it'll all get better in time. And then the other person is here, like, sometimes I run, sometimes I hide, you know, sometimes I'm scared of you. All I want is to hold you tight, but I'm scared of you. Baby, all I need is time. And it's like the other person is like, but I've given you time and you're not reaching out, so I'm going to smile and live my life because I'm supposed to. And then the other person is like, distraught that the person's smiling, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're smiling, they're happy, they must be so happy without me, they've moved on. So basically here is two people that are not talking, that are totally misunderstanding one another, and then it goes into the outside looking in. So, you know, I was channeling multiple songs of the outside looking in, and I believe there were actually there were actually four of the same song. So it goes into numerous stories. So for someone here, there's someone who could have been raised either kind of more in the ghetto, or someone who was raised with a family that really partook in a lot of substances. It's the song Outside Looking In by G. Herbo. And in the song he says, a good kid raised in a world so tragic. He was young, under pressure, loved guns, and aggressive. So this could be for, you know, the boys who were misunderstood, who loved aggression, loved guns, too intelligent to be out acting dumb because he was special, but always had run-ins with oppression. So some of you guys could be guys or dealing with guys who were always in trouble, always getting Saturday school, always getting after-school detention, who were always getting in trouble with authority because they were just too intelligent for their own good, and they were just heavily misunderstood. Shy but charismatic, reads stories in his free time. He mastered being devious, didn't like to follow the rules. Youngest, but he couldn't act like the youngest, and they ain't cut him slack for nothing. So some of you guys could be the youngest in your family, but no one's ever cut you slack, and you had to really grow up from a young age. Kind of thinking like Paris Hilton energy here, where she really had to grow up from a young age. You know, she was in boarding school, she was completely bastardized from her family, completely outcast from them. She wasn't in the family will, like she was completely pushed aside. And so a lot of people, you know, make fun of her as an adult, or think that she's dumb or this or that, because she is living the childhood that she never got to have. So for some of you, you could be living the childhood that you never got to have, and people look at you as like naive, or look at you like ditzy, and it's like, no, you had to grow up from a really young age because of what you saw, what you were subject to, and you never really got to relax into your childhood and really embrace your childhood. So it's like, as an adult, you're experiencing your childhood all over again. In that song, he goes on to say, family functions, he was always seeing them drinking gin. So for some of you, could have had families that are alcoholics, or people in your family, that are alcoholics. That could have been something that was just constantly surrounded by you or your person, and so they kind of succumb to that, or perhaps that's something that you have succumbed to. Family functions, all he seen was drinking gin. He ain't know that they were misleading him with all the that they were feeding him. So some of you also could be, subject to certain health issues and struggles, whether it's overweight or addictions or different food disorders, eating disorders, because of everything that people are feeding you. Now, this can also be mental things going on because what you were being fed mentally because of your own parents' lack of security and your own parents' shortcomings and mental issues that were kind of projected and imprinted upon you that weren't really your own, but they kind of project them so heavily that they seep into and become you. So there's an energy here of really waking up and realizing what is yours, but what was not yours at all ever to begin with, but was so projected heavily upon you because it was ancestral and it was a generational thing that ran in your family. He learned fast, and so circumstances turned him bad. His strong will and his mind are his only friend. It ain't easy, but it's fine. Strategic with his time. So some of you could be like, yeah, it's fine. It's this stereotypical of saying, oh, it's fine, I'm fine. And it's like, you're not fine, but you just have to say that to just keep going with the day, and you're very strategic, or the person is very strategic. Now, the second song was Outside Looking In by Little Anthony. And in this is a man who's looking at a woman, and he's like, now it's me who has to pay because you're in love with somebody else. I have to see with someone new. I never should have gone away. I never should have left you. So it's basically a guy who didn't really see the worth of his woman, of the love of his life at the time, and just kind of played around. He even says in there, I thought you'd take me back. I thought you'd always be there. But to my surprise, I'm on the outside looking in. So this could be someone who you've kind of been on the merry-go-round multiple times with, and it's like every time you always take them back, or every time they always take you back, and it's like, but this one time, this next time, it's different. They're not going to take you back, you're not going to take them back. It's different. Now you're on the outside looking in, or they are stuck on the outside looking in. As the hair gets in my... He says, I gotta find a way back to your heart once again. Won't you take me back again? I'll be here waiting until then. So the next outside looking in song is Bruce Springsteen, as there's a hair in my eye. He says in this one, it's all over now, the things we had, and I ain't sorry, girl, I just feel mad. So for some of you, this could, the pain that someone feels because they no longer have you has now turned into rage. They're just straight up mad. He's like, you walk really pretty, you talk really fine, my life's the same old story, but now I'm on the outside looking in. So it's like someone is obsessed with watching you, or, you could be obsessed with watching someone, you're on the outside looking in, they're on the outside looking in, someone here could quite literally be blocked. And then the last song for Outside Looking In is by Jordan Pruitt, and in it she says, you don't know my name, you don't know anything about me, I want to be in your game. You don't know how it feels to be outside of the crowd. You don't know what it's like to be left out. You don't know what it feels like to be your own best friend on the outside looking in. There's more to me than meets the eye, and you've all been wrong. I'm not who you think I am, but you've never given me a chance. So for some of you, it's like someone could have their story, their stigma of you, whether it's because of friends, or it's because of who you used to be, or it's just because of the way that they were raised, the way that they're conditioned. So it's like they see you and they subscribe a certain story to you, or you see someone and you subscribe a certain story to them because of your conditioning, and someone's like, this is really unfair. Like, you don't even know me, you're not getting to know me, I don't even get a chance. I'm on the outside looking in, I'm tired of staying at home. So someone here could be a huge homebody. They feel like they have nowhere to go out, they have no one to connect with, and it could just be time for them to move because they could quite literally be in a community that's just not receptive to them. And then A Wrinkle in Time, which I'm not familiar with the book or the movie, but I did some research, and apparently the movie was a total flop. But it was a total flop because it was chastised for being too religious, but also for not being religious enough. And then it got chastised because it's, the dark thing. So there's like a darkness in it, so it's against darkness and light. And essentially the darkness was conforming everyone and brainwashing everyone, and Meg and her brother were able to escape the conformity. They were able to break free, and then they have to save their father from the conformity, from the dark side. So for a lot of you, you could be chastised for your beliefs, for being different, for non-conforming, for non-compliance. I'm hearing complying. So there could be something here where you're being reprimanded or you're being punished for not complying, for not conforming to society or not conforming to a certain belief system. This can be, you know, some people are like, no, if you believe X, Y, and Z, then you have to follow, you know, ABC. And it's like, actually, I am a free thinker. So some of you could just be a free thinker. You do things a little differently. Like, I have a friend who, he's super straight guy, and he loves to paint his nails. He is probably going to watch this. And, you know, people always get on to, they're like, oh, are you bi? Are you this? And he's like not against that. Like, he's not against people who are. He's like, no, I'm really straight. I just love to express myself, and I like to paint my nails. And I'm also really straight. And that's fine. You know, so there could be something here where it's like people are trying to pin you down to be a certain way or to be a part of a certain group or a certain sexuality because of how you express yourself, how you dress, how you are. People are trying to pin the tail on the donkey, and it's like, actually, that's not it. So something here with A Wrinkle in Time, conformity and non-compliance. Then we have Conan the Barbarian. So someone here can have like dark black hair, or someone could just be of a different ethnicity. This could be, you know, like someone could be like white, and then someone here could be not white. Someone here could be have some sort of exotic ethnicity to them with dark black long hair. And so there could be differences in race, differences in cultural beliefs or upbringing, and this could be someone that you are about to enter a relationship with or new friend groups. You could find that your people aren't actually people that are your color. So you could be in a society of people that are all your color, so to speak, and you're realizing that none of those people respect you, none of those people care about you, none of those people want to understand you, and you cannot reason with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. So it's like you're finding your people, you're finding your tribe, and they could be people that you previously have just never spent time with. Conan the Barbarian, it's Conan the Adventure is the TV show. It's free on YouTube, by the way, the 1992 series. I actually watched a couple episodes the other night, and it's pretty good. So in it, Conan's father, like it's raining fiery tears. It's like raining star metal, and I always think of star metal being Moldavite, and I always wear my Moldavite. I stay strapped up on Moldavite all the time, always have. Always keep my Moldavite super close. So some of you guys might want to go get some Moldavite, because whenever I hear star metal, I always think of Moldavite. But in the show, star metal rains from the sky, and Conan's father makes all of these weapons, and then he hides a bunch of the star metal, and there's like an evil serpent king, an evil serpent man, and he like does magic to cover his face and to cover his reptilian nature and to deceive the people. However, whenever Conan is around, well, first of all, Conan has to like go through the rites of passage into becoming a man. And Conan's father's like, when you're man enough, when you actually become a man, you'll be able to grab the sword out of star metal that I wielded for you, that is behind the stone slab. And so, you know, Conan spends his life like growing up, and then when he's old enough and strong enough, he's able to move the stone slab aside, and he's able to pull out the sword. So kind of sword in the stone type energy, which I believe sword in the stone, they do actually relate that to Moldavite in there. So in that, whenever Conan finds, or whenever he's able to actually retrieve his sword, whenever he's around the Serpent King with his sword, the Serpent King's magic wears off, and he's not able to hide or disguise himself anymore. And so, you know, it makes him super angry because his magic is disrupted, and he's like, why is my getting disrupted? And Conan's like, it's because of star metal. So you could be someone who sheds the disguise of the darkness around you, and that's going to always severely piss off the people who wear disguises, who have a false mask, because they don't want their disguise to be dropped. So clearly, you know, that's an issue. And when you're not conforming to their ploy, their plot, their little, you know, their little trickster ways, then they're going to be upset. And the star metal actually breaks on all of the serpent men, because he has like a whole tribe. The serpent man, the serpent king, has a whole bunch of men, and so every time Conan's around, he is able to reveal their true form and show these people for who they really are. So a lot of you guys are revealing who people really are by expressing yourself. You're showing that the people who are trying to chastise you and say that you're the darkness are actually the darkness themselves and are trying to really keep the light hidden. So there's a huge play in the world right now going on where the darkness is trying to act like the people who are light are the dark kinds, and the people who are actually light and actually of the righteousness are revealing the darkness, and it is, you know, kind of, I mean, really it is at war. Okay, then I was hearing Slinky, so something here could be Slinky, Sly. I don't watch Rick and Morty, but I was hearing Pickle Rick, so I looked it up. I was like, what does that even mean? These messages all came through in my meditation earlier, a lot of them, so I'm going to try and go fast because I don't want this message to be super long. I feel like it's already too long. But in it, I was hearing Pickle Rick, and I looked up Pickle Rick, and in it, I thought this was hilarious. It's the episode where Rick apparently turns himself into a pickle in order to avoid family therapy. And in that, he actually undergoes a huge accident, and then he has to fight for his life to survive. So some of you guys, you could have a family member or, you know, a partner or someone who is just like absolutely vehemently against therapy. They will never admit to their wrongs. They don't want to admit or take any responsibility or accountability. And it's like they're currently going through accidents, or they have had an accident, or they're going to have an accident very soon where they're caught fighting for their life. And so it's kind of like, you know, things are coming around. Then Morticia was coming through, so from the Addams family. And, you know, Morticia, even though she had like dark hair and had this like dark demeanor and look to her, she was known as a dove because her psychic abilities, her channel was actually very light and very positive, and is always for the lightness and for the goodness of the planet and the goodness of the earth. So, but she had, you know, this look on the outside of like darkness, dark hair. And so some of you guys, you know, people could look at you and be like, oh, psychic, oh, this or that, that's dark, that's of the demonic stuff. And it's like, no, not at all, actually. And you are a dove. So dove could be a really strong spirit animal for you. Dove is a very protective bird for you as well. And you could be a dove. After that, Morton Salt was coming through, and on the picture, Morton Salt, you know, she's in a yellow dress, she has a bob, so some of you guys could be trying on getting a bob. I know I just saw this video, this TikTok of this girl that was like, don't do it. She's like, Hailey Bieber just got a bob and it looks so cute. And she's like, don't do it, you know, but I know some of you guys might actually look cute with the bob. So if you want to get the bob, then don't worry about the viral TikTok saying don't do it. Do your own thing. If you want to get the bob, do the bob. If you want to chop your hair off, chop your hair off. If you want to get the bangs, get the bangs. If you want to buy that yellow sundress or that yellow itty bitty bikini, buy it. Also something here with umbrellas. Umbrellas could be really lucky for you, especially if you are a Scorpio. In fact, if you're a Scorpio, getting an umbrella for either earrings or clothing with umbrellas or just anything with umbrellas, it's actually your lucky talisman. So umbrellas will help shield you and protect you. Having just a picture of that, wearing some sort of jewelry with an umbrella on it would be really powerful for you. Then I was seeing Persian, oh, and also Morton Salt is from Chicago. So something here with Chicago could be coming up. With salt though, you may want to like salt your windowsills, salt your door frame. Salt is very protective. But it's from Chicago. Yeah, okay, so then Persian cats are coming through. Persian cats are very high maintenance, so someone could see you as a Persian cat. They're known for their long flowing manes, for they're an expensive rare breed. They are very elegant and very royal, and they are known for having brilliant eyes. So some of you, you know, people could see as very elegant, very royal, regal, with a long flowing mane and having brilliant eyes. Rarebreed by XXX Tentacion came through. At the beginning of that song, he says, very effing holy, very effing rare. So some of you guys are like, yeah, I'm holy and I'm rare, and I'm effing holy and I'm effing rare. And people are like, oh, how dare you? And it's just like, own it. You just own who you are, and that's okay. You're comfortable in yourself, and you're supposed to be. Then Rare Breed by Kendrick Lamar was coming through. Tell the world I'm a rare breed, baby. Cockatiels, so some of you guys could be interested in getting a bird. White cockatiels were coming through, so this could be like the cockatiel and the dove. The masculine could be the cockatiel, the feminine could be the dove, or vice versa. Rabbits, in that I got chills, they're multiplying. So something about Grace Lightning, you know, the bad boy, that kind of goes back to the Outside Looking In G Herbo song. So rabbits, something is going to multiply or spread very quickly, because rabbits, you know, when they breed, it's like very abundant. So something here could be really slow as molasses for a long time, and then all of a sudden it's like really fast, it's really quick. Okay, and then this was coming through in the reading yesterday, but Flaming Lips, Do You Realize, is coming through in the Capricorn reading, and thank you, Frank, because I was saying, is it Postal Service or Death Cab? I was just thinking of the voice, but I've seen the Flaming Lips, so it's like frustrating to me that I couldn't even think that it was the Flaming Lips. In that song, Do You Realize that everyone you know someday will die? So as we've seen in the world, there is just a lot of death, a lot of destruction, a lot of catastrophe going on. And so at the beginning of this message, where I'm talking about, people aren't talking because they're so wrapped up in their own misunderstandings about a situation, rather than just talking to the person and addressing the thing, rather than taking that accountability. So someone here is, wanting to realize, do you realize? This is your message. Do you realize that everyone you know someday will die? And instead of saying all your goodbyes, let them know you realize that life goes fast. It's hard to make the good things last. You realize the sun doesn't go down. It's just an illusion caused by the world spinning around. Also, the Pleiades sisters, now they were the 7 sisters running away from Orion. Now, there are only 6 of them. It's thought that one of them was lost, or one of them, passed. So there could be something here about a bunch of siblings or a large family, and someone passing. My condolences for that. Someone here could have a Subaru. Pleiadian sisters, though, they were all running from Orion, and then in other folklore, they were always running from a hunter. So firm energy on like the hunted and the huntress, those kind of running from that. Now, they also were known for being angry, stubborn, and fiery. So there is something here of like acknowledging anger, acknowledging your stubbornness, acknowledging your fire, and being able to pacify that, and being able to find some more, oh my gosh, what's the word? Compromise instead of stubborn, and to be able to cool down the aggression, or actually get the aggression out by exercise, running, because fire is an element that we connect to through exercise, through sweat. So working your core, going running, doing kickboxing classes, lifting weights, cycling, anything that you're really exerting energy, or hiking, riding horses, skating, aerial arts, aerial silks. Okay, and then the movie Balto was coming through. So in Balto, he's also chastised because he's half wolf and half dog. And I know the original Balto and the real true story, he's actually Siberian Husky, but I'm talking about the cartoon. So in the cartoon, he's half dog and he's half wolf. And it's like, the humans outcast him because they're like, he's a wolf, don't trust him, we can't trust him, he could bite the children, he could do this, he could do that, like, he is half wolf, we can't trust him. But then he's chastised from the wolves because they're like, he's half dog, he's not a real wolf, he's not one of us. So some of you guys could literally be, ethnically, you could be a mutt, you could be split between 2 different races, but spiritually you also could have just different aspects where you're someone who puts your eggs in multiple baskets, or you're someone who has multiple beliefs, or you're someone who connects to multiple ideas, and you're multidimensional. And it's like, that makes people uncomfortable. They're like, no, you have to conform. So going back to the story of A Wrinkle in Time, it's like, you're not conforming, you can't fit into that box, and that really upsets people here. Balto, is always ridiculed because he's feeling left out. And then he's also tricked because, what he did at the end is he scratched the trees to like try and find his way, and then the bad dog goes through and he like scratches trees to confuse Balto and to make him get lost. So someone here could also be like changing documents, writing things. Someone here could be changing things behind the scenes to confuse you or confuse other people so that you can't get home, so that you can't find your way home. So for a lot of you, if you feel like you've just kind of been wandering aimlessly and you feel like you just haven't really found your home, you haven't really found your people, you haven't really found your tribe, yes, it's because there are dark energies that have quite literally been scribbling on trees and trying to purposely make you get lost. But again, just like I said in my Chosen One message before this one of the Judas Wolf, capture, betray, kill. It's like, even though Judas's energy led to Jesus's crucifixion and his trial and the whole process, it did lead to his resurrection, and his resurrection is what led to his greatest success and to everyone knowing him, and what led to the good word being spread. So it's like, that will pan out in the end, so you don't need to worry about that. All things, will come back together. All right, the next thing, last things here is Wishing Well by Juice WRLD. I Can't Breathe, Waiting for the Exhale, 999. 9s are all hermetic cycle completions. 9 is also the number of months a baby is in the womb before it is birthed. So something here is about to be birthed chosen ones. I tossed my pain with my wishes in a wishing well, used my past and my memories as a weapon. So someone here could be using someone's past against them, their memories as a weapon against them. This is the part where I tell you I'm fine, but I'm lying. I just don't want you to worry. This is the part where I take all my feelings and hide them. Sometimes I just don't know how to feel. So again, to the I'm fine energy, which again connects to the Outside Looking In by G Herbo. And then the song Tea by Enoch. So you could be drinking more tea. You could be doing decaf. I don't do caffeine, but I love green tea. So I drink green tea and holy basil tea like every single day, but I do decaf, and both are incredible. Holy basil tea is so Tulsi, it's so good, antiviral, antibacterial. It's an amazing tea. And then green tea has a lot of benefits for it too. And also putting the tea bags actually on your face, on like acne, blemishes, or eczema, things like that, rosacea, it will actually heal that. So tea bags can also be extremely medicinal and way better than medicine. So some of you may want to try that. But in the song Tea by Enoch, he says, I made you a cup of tea, living beat by beat. Every space tries to throw you off track. Literally beat. So it's like you could be feeling beat, you could be feeling worn out. Fighting yourself as you fight back. So it's like you're beat, you're exhausted, you're trying, you're fighting, but you're fighting yourself as you're trying to fight for your life. You're fighting for all the ones you depend on and the ones who depend on you, and then all the pressure that you put on yourself. So a lot of you could be feeling like you're under pressure. I'm hearing like the tea kettle, the lid, whenever it like whistles. He also says falling into old ways, fears that masquerade, friends that call you out as you call them out. So some people could be like, hypocrite, I'm calling you out, and then no, I'm calling you out. So really tit for tat, just very petty Bettys over here. So just lots of petty Betty energy. Then we have tea for hard days, tea for long days, tea for headaches, tea for heartbreaks, tea for gray skies. So it's just one of those times, but we will get through this. And then we have the song Fall to Pieces by Avril Lavigne. You tried to say things that you can't undo. If I had my way, I'd never get over you. I don't want to fall to pieces. I just want to sit and stare at you, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want a conversation. I just want to cry in front of you. I don't want to talk about it because I'm in love with you. So someone here is like, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to stare at you because I'm in love with you. So someone here could quite literally just be going through, just like the song Sometimes by Britney Spears. It's like, sometimes I run, sometimes I hide, but it's like, baby, all I need is time. But they're watching you, and they're like, because I'm in love with you. So someone is like not doing anything. They're literally just totally paralyzed, just doing nothing, but they're watching you in awe, just like, I'm so in love with you, but I'm scared of you, and I don't want to make a move. And that's just like so frustrating. I just could like flick people like that. Like if you're that person, I flick you, because it's just like, what? Like, life is so short, just as we said in these. Okay, anywho, I love you guys. If you'd like a personal reading, hit me up.